In Imperial Year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, led a strategic assault against the monastery at Garreg Mach. Though her own losses were great, her foes had no choice but to surrender. Archbishop Rhea commanded the Knights of Seros, leading from the front lines against the Imperial army. After a hard-fought battle, she was forced to retreat to Ferdiad, the capital of Fargus, where she must now plan her next move. With this single attack, the Adrestian Empire officially launched its offensive against the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance. The unification of Fodlan has begun. Part 2. Crimson Flower. Ethereal Moon. Beyond Escape. It is Imperial Year 1185. Half a decade has passed since Emperor Edelgard ascended the Imperial throne, yet the continent of Fodlan still remains lost in a tempest of turmoil and bloodshed. In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, King Dimitri has welcomed Archbishop Rhea and her knights, who were driven out of Garreg Mach to the kingdom capital. As they work to build a unified front, the war with the Empire rages on to the west. Meanwhile, Claude, leader of the Alliance, staves off Imperial intervention by strategically stirring up conflicts between Leicester lords in an effort to feign neutrality. As events unfold, Edelgard and her Black Eagle strike force begin to take action in an attempt to break the war's current state of deadlock.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you. You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit? Get on your feet. Right now! I'll coddle you no more! You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Seros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Regardless, the Imperial Army has taken over now. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? The Imperial Army is there. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Students? You really are crazy, aren't you? There aren't any kids anywhere near that place anymore. Unbelievable.
"5 years ago to the day. If things had continued on as they were, today would have been the Millennium Festival." Halt! Who's there? It can't be. Professor? Is it really you? But I searched everywhere and never found a trace. My teacher. What have you been doing all this time? Where have you been? Joking? At a time like this? You do realize it's been 5 years since you disappeared. Do you have any idea how guilty I felt? How broken my heart was? I searched high and low after you vanished. Although there was no proof, I somehow knew you were alive. All this time, I led everyone as best I could, and fought with all my heart. It's been a difficult path to walk alone. Welcome back, my teacher. I'm so happy that you're safe. 5 years. Such a short time, but it feels like an eternity ago. Do you still feel the way you did all those years ago? You said then that you would fight at my side no matter how many enemies we should amass. As for me, my resolve has not faltered. I'm determined as ever to see this through to the end. I will defeat the false goddess. I will save this world from those creatures and give humanity its freedom back. So, my teacher, are you prepared to stand with me? I thank you, truly. Now then, I assume you understand the situation at hand, yes? Another joke? Or are you telling the truth? I suppose you must be. In that case, I'll tell you all that has transpired as you slumbered these past 5 years. And that is where we are now. The war is at a stalemate. Dimitri is the new king of Fargus. It's clear that his territory will continue to support the church. Meanwhile, Claude's leadership has thrown the Alliance into chaos. He maintains neutrality in their internal conflict. The situation has created a deadlock. We've been awaiting an opportunity for our squadron to return to the monastery. With you in the fray, I believe the state of the war will shift immediately. The church, as well as the kingdom and the Alliance. The time has come to eliminate them all. Although we were of different houses, we were companions who lived and learned together. Some of our ranks are hesitant to battle against them, and against the people of their homelands. However, knowing that you're alive is sure to raise their spirits. Good. Well then, I believe it's time for a little reunion. The Black Eagle Strike Force never lost faith. They knew you were alive and have been awaiting your return. Let's not keep them waiting any longer.
Well now, that face is certainly familiar. I am glad to see you alive and well, Professor.
Professor! It's me, Bernie! Do you remember me? I can't believe you're here!
I can't believe it! Is this a dream? Can we really be this lucky?
This is not dreaming. Our professor is with us again. Welcome to the back. I mean, welcome back.
Our group isn't the same without you. I am overjoyed to see you again.
It's been so long. Seeing you again fills my heart with hope.
Great! Now everything will be easy. That's great you're safe, Professor. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
Quite the reunion, isn't it, Professor? Everyone's happy to see you.
Come on, Edelgard. You must be happier than all of us combined. She took it really hard when you disappeared, Professor.
Of course, we did our very best in your absence, and there was never a day that we doubted you would return to us.
Edelgard has been leading us as Emperor. But after you disappeared, it became apparent that you were her anchor.
It gives me regret to be admitting this, but our power is not enough. Only expectations is you, Professor.
Most impressive of all is your uncanny ability to bring a smile to everyone's face.
In the years since you vanished, we have not lost anyone from our ranks.
We all longed for your presence and your leadership, myself included.
It seems fitting to view this as a new beginning for the Black Eagle Strike Force. We already have our target.
Yes, we must eliminate the Alliance before moving on to fight the Kingdom and the Church. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we must occupy the entirety of the Alliance. House Riken stands against the Empire. Therefore, our target is Deirdre, the aquatic capital.
We must cross the Aramid River, which separates the Empire and the Alliance. To do that, we must take the largest bridge across it. The Great Bridge of Myrden. Myrden connects the monastery and the Imperial capital to the east. It is the shortest route there.
An Alliance stronghold has been built at the Great Bridge. We'll take that and then head north. At the same time, we must defeat the one who defends it, Judith von Daphne. If we can also take control of Daphne territory, it would be greatly beneficial to us. Prepare yourselves. The next battle will be a momentous one. Join me, my friends, as we begin our journey to bring peace and solace to this war-ravaged world.
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you? I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for? Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on. Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together.
Is this necessary? I'll sing if I must.
Yeah! I'll sing so loud that my voice is gonna reach the sky!
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home.
Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefields just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. A new place? All on my own? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? I thought we were finally getting close. I guess I'm not good enough for that, though, am I? I'll let you have this one, but you better be ready for next time. Delicious.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yes, Ferdinand, of course. Is something wrong?
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
That may be true.
Right there. You are smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Please, you're making me blush.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am just saying you seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that. In truth, I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said. It meant so much when you told me that everyone has a purpose to fulfill, even me.
I am so glad to hear you say that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more. I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic. The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done. Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
It sounds to me like you have already found your answer.
What do you mean?
Making people happy. If you ask me, that is a truly worthwhile purpose.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Yes? What about it?
Today was my turn to prepare the meal. How is it?
Oh, it is delicious. The flavor and the texture are superb, so you are certainly making me happy.
I'm glad you like it.
I hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
Oh?
Maybe, if you have the time, you can cook something for me again? For me alone, I mean.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul. Do you not agree, Bernadetta?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh, that reminds me.
What's that?
A long time ago, my parents were in talks to arrange my marriage with a certain young lady. She never set foot outside of her room, and she made little dolls to curse her perceived enemies. Such were the rumors. Frightened, I dissuaded my parents from going through with their plans.
I can see that. She does sound pretty frightening. I relate to the staying in the room part, though.
That girl was you, Bernadetta, a daughter of House Varley.
What? I don't make dolls to curse people.
You are a skilled embroiderer, no? I guess I was wrong. You are not making dolls.
I did make dolls, but cute ones. Nice little carnivorous plants and things.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
Yes, adorable. Anyway, if I had actually known you, I would have accepted the proposal.
Why? Did you have some scheme in mind?
No, I just mean, now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to...
So, you're saying you'd... with me? It's getting kinda hot in here, isn't it? Maybe it's the tea.
Why are you getting so worked up? That was all a long time ago now.
A long time ago?
Yes. Now we are soldiers fighting together in the same great conflict, right? And my parents are gone. So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had been married, we would not have been able to build such a deep friendship.
That's true. Yeah, we never would have gotten this close. I would have given up on the relationship my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
So all in all, I am glad I refused to marry that doll-cursing princess.
Hey! I said I never made cursed dolls!
Sorry. I am just glad to have met you at the monastery. I had better take my leave. We should have tea together again sometime soon.
Yeah, see you. I'm glad we met here too.
Dorothea, I am surprised to find you here. I did not think you were all that religious.
There's a lot you don't know, Ferdy. But you're right. I'd hardly call myself devout. After all, it was thanks to the goddess and her noble regime that I suffered so much as a child.
You must be quite brave to speak so coarsely in this hallowed place. But what do you mean? About suffering as a child?
Do I really have to tell you? Oh, forget it. I'm sure you already know that I'm an orphan. I grew up in the alleys of Enbar, begging for coins, eating scraps, drinking from drains.
I see. I remember seeing street children around the city.
I could have died. Then the right person overheard me singing. And suddenly I was in the opera. I was a songstress. And my goodness, did the nobles like me. The people who used to spit on me and call me an urchin, they praised my voice and my beauty. A nobleman who once kicked me gave me the most gorgeous shoes. I almost asked if it was a joke.
So that is why you despise the nobility. But why do you think I am the same as them? Do you really believe that is the kind of man I am? You think I would ever treat people differently based on appearances? There is nothing noble about that.
Oh, really? You're something different? That's not how I remember things. It was the very day that I was discovered. I was in high spirits. Nothing was wrong in the world. I secretly bathed in one of the town's fountains, hoping to wash off some of the dirt from the streets. I sang the same song the opera composer overheard earlier that day. And that's when you appeared.
Me? No, it could not have been.
Don't play dumb. You glared at me, the same look I'd gotten from every other noble, then you ran off. When we met at the academy, you were a different person. All smiles and friendly words. You were like a bee, Ferdinand. A bee attracted to a flower in full bloom.
So it was you then, singing that song. Dorothea, please listen. This is a misunderstanding. When I saw you, I could not take my eyes off you. I was hypnotized. Your beautiful voice, your elegant face, droplets of water on your skin that glittered in the sun. I thought you were a water nymph.
Stop it, don't lie to me.
No, it is true. I was only a child. The vision overwhelmed me. That is why I ran. I plucked up the courage to return, but no one was there. I thought perhaps it was a dream.
Maybe I can believe you. I've wanted to, ever since the day you made me those treats. I thought then that maybe you weren't like the others, but there's a lot I have to let go of, Ferdy.
Of course. I am glad we had this conversation. You know, I do not mind you thinking of me as a bee. Life as a simple drone, circling a queen. It actually sounds quite wonderful.
Don't drones keep the queen safe from other bugs? I like the sound of that.
Show them this letter. Threaten them. Do what you must. Now go.
Yes, sir.
Hubert, that letter. Is that what I think it was?
I suppose there's no denying it.
But Edelgard
explicitly forbade me to send it. Yes, I know.
I cannot believe it! You disobeyed a direct order? I thought you were her loyal aide.
Unwaveringly. All that I do for her. I seem to recall you expressing a similar sentiment. It is our role to guide her when she is on the wrong course of action. Is that not what you said?
You're not supposed to do it in secret. When you disagree with your leader, you must voice your concerns directly. Otherwise, what is the point?
The point is the same. Lady Edelgard's best interests are served whether she knows it or not. She needs not trouble herself with the mundane details of my actions. Only results matter.
You are sorely misguided. When I believe that Edelgard is making a mistake, I tell her as much. Through discussing the matter, I sometimes find that I was mistaken. To skip that process, to make a decision that is not yours to make.
Perhaps your advice is simply useless then.
Excuse me?
Listen to yourself. If I do as Lady Edelgard requires, then you tell me to be more independent. But if I tread my own path, I am misguided. I suppose the fault is mine for expecting any useful advice to come out of your mouth.
Ugh, I have had enough of your grousing. To think, I started to believe you were a useful aid.
I have been watching you in secrecy, Edelgard. But you and Hubert were noticing me, correct?
Well, if you intend to shadow us like that, you can be sure it won't escape our notice. Hubert was primed and ready to remove you. I ordered him to stand down.
You have my thanks. I have been making a decision that I am wanting to learn from you. I was thinking it was enough to be shooting one bird with one arrow. But after speaking with you, I trained with hardness. Now I can be shooting 2 birds with 1 arrow.
2 pheasants? Are you implying that...
Yes, a single arrow.
That's astounding, Petra. It's perhaps a bit late to explain now, but what I was getting at earlier was actually...
I am having a joke.
You... come again?
I really was shooting these birds with 1 arrow, but my joke is that I did have understanding about what you told me. I took it to my heart.
Did you now?
You are a person with great bluntness. I am admiring of you. As an emperor, a commander, a warrior, and a friend, you are excelling at all that you do. All of the Empire is resting on your shoulders, and that is including Brigid, too. I will not be falling behind you. I will be carrying Brigid on my shoulders, too. And one day, you and I will be facing each other, and we will be shaking hands.
Yes, that much is certain. I can see that you no longer need me to look out for you. You and I are much the same. We dutifully shoulder our burdens and stand tall no matter what. It would be foolish of me to deny it.
Your words give me great joy. And it also gave me joy to see you being flustered when I was showing you the birds.
A cheap trick, to be sure, but inarguably funny. To think that you went to all the trouble of shooting 2 pheasants at once for the sake of a joke. Well played, Petra.
We both are growing every day. I hope we will keep doing so.
Why am I having so much trouble fighting these tall guys? They're not even stronger than me. You've got to help me come up with a strategy, Linhardt.
Is that not a waste of time? Even if I handed you a perfect strategy, something I've done in the past, you'd never follow it through.
That's because your plans are always so complicated. But come on, I need your help.
All right, I will share with you my tactical genius. I call this my secret plan.
You already have a plan? You really are ready for anything. So, what is it?
Land the first hit. Then keep hitting them hard and fast as you can until they stop hitting you back.
So, you're basically telling me to just fight?
Dodge their attacks, keep up the assault, then go for the knees. Done.
The secret is the knees?
Being tall means short people are closer to your knees. Exploit the enemy's weakness, Caspar.
Makes sense. That doesn't sound like my style, though. I don't really want to exploit a weakness.
Then go ahead and continue losing. Or you can listen to the rest of my plan.
There's more? Fine. Tell me the rest.
Your defense is careless. The last bit of my secret is that you need to train in that area.
I won't argue with training. Let's go!
No, I don't think we should...
It's been 5 years. You've got to be at least as strong as I am by now. Come on! You've even got that height advantage you're always going on about. You're the perfect training partner for me. Quit stalling and let's go.
Fine, I'll train with you, but only for a bit.
All right, Linhardt. Come at me again.
Caspar, please. I need water. I need water. I'm gonna go get some. Bye.
Huh? Hey, get back here! He got away.
Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand, stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish. Ha!
It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand.
Shamir, can I be having your time? There is a thought that is giving me great concern.
Let's hear it, Petra.
If Dagda is ever invading Fodlan again, what will you be doing?
I'd join the army of Dagda. I'd lay waste to Fodlan and return to my homeland.
If that is the truth, then I am having one more question for you. If that was happening, would you be fighting your allies in the Imperial Army too?
Of course. You expect me to die for you? You should be prepared to do the same. Your homeland would likely join Dagda.
So, that is your truth?
Maybe. If you'd asked me 5 years ago. I've been a mercenary since childhood. Always fighting for a bounty. If my allies didn't pay, I'd side with the enemy. It's why I became a sniper. Easier to dispose of anyone with a reward on their head. It's also why I joined the Knights of Saros. I owed them a debt, but that's all changed.
You are not fighting for money now?
That's right. When I see everyone fighting for Fodlan, I feel inclined to help. I won't die for the cause, but I will protect everyone. If the army of Dagda engaged you, I'd fight at your side.
Hearing that is it gives me great joy. Until the war is finished, let us fight together.
Professor! Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. Much appreciated, but there's a reason I need to bring this to your attention. The brigands all bore identical tattoos of a scorpion on their arms. Please keep an eye out for that mark in the future.
Oh no.
Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens. But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner, and I wouldn't have blood on my hands. It's no use trying to comfort me. You know I'm right. Just say it. Those poor knights. It's all my fault.
Okay. Professor!
Right.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. Now, as the head of House Eyre, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Eyre, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
I'm relieved you're here, Professor. It seems we've reached a stalemate on the war front. I admit I'm feeling apprehensive about fighting the Alliance. No. I have to shelve my personal feelings. There are bigger things at play here. I'll fight with full force. I'm counting on you to lead us to victory, Professor.
I've been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack.
Hello. The north side of the Great Bridge of Myrden is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance. He's known as the Weather Vane. He's a notoriously flippant man. A man like that doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge.
Professor. Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around. I think you did most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question. Not sure. I might have an idea, but never mind. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders. No need. I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still, I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leader of the Imperial Army. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army. You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone, but I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry though, I don't plan to turn on you.
House Gloucester will remain staunchly neutral in this war, even if we press into Alliance territory. My father is no threat to the Empire. Lady Edelgard surely understands that. The Great Bridge of Myrden, however, is another story. I hear it is held by Judith of House Daphno. She is renowned for her military prowess. We would do well not to underestimate her.
All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. You're right. I gotta keep it under control or I'm gonna wear myself out too quickly. Maybe I'll just get rid of a few monsters. Or is that too risky right before a mission?
Professor? This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Franc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist. Right.
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me? I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around. Thanks.
Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I run out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear. Oh, yeah. People call me Bernie Bear since I hole up in my den all the time. Not anymore, though.
The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Eyre, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Dathnel houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Dathnel.
No. Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit, but the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
His Highness, the new king, is in the process of unifying the kingdom under his command. His powerful army has joined forces with the Knights of Seiros, who moved their seat to Fargus. And now they're presenting a united front against the Imperial Army. They're our greatest enemy, absolutely. I don't relish the idea, but there's no turning back now. For now, we should focus our efforts on the Alliance. The Kingdom and Church can come afterwards. Judith, who defends the Great Bridge of Myrddin, is a formidable opponent. We can't afford to drop our guard.
I need a favor.
Professor! Hey! Ah! At long last we meet again. I knew you were alive. I knew you could survive. And 5 years on, you arrive. We're reunited. I'm glad I kept watch for you in the downstream villages all that time. I was so devoted to finding you that I left the Knights of Seiros. Now I serve no one other than you. I'll protect you, just as I promised Captain Gerald I would all those years ago.
A moment, please. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Seiros, but I think he's just a grunt, not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
By making an enemy of the Church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Professor, please do not be concerned. I just did too much overworking and lost my strength. Yes, I have no problems. Accept my apology for giving you worry. I have sorrow. I am sorry to be fainting at a time like this. Even though I was not asking for your care and attention, you gave it willingly. I am thinking that is incorrect. Will you have a listen to me? There is something that I must be saying. I am thinking you already have knowledge of why I came to Fodlan. Not for studying, but as a hostage for the Empire. So that Bridget would not be rebelling anymore. It feels like a knife against my throat. That I am making my grandfather obey the Empire. Because I am a hostage, it is not an option to be giving up. I must be fighting and winning and staying alive. I must do anything to be making life better for Bridget. To be making Bridget and the Empire stand as equals. That is what my people are wanting from me, and what my grandfather, the King of Bridget, is wanting. My want? I am not knowing of that. The wants of my people are something I have power to achieve. Their wants are my own. What I really want... I have understanding. Wait, no, I actually do not have understanding. Yet. What I am understanding is that there is something I am not understanding. When I know what my true want is, I give you my promise that I will be telling you first.
Clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front. But this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too.
Hey there. Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Berglies. I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, yes! You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello, I'm Fleisch von Berglies. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'm gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
No.
Hi. Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
What the?
Hello.
Right.
Hi there. No. Hi there.
After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but We've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
No.
Hey! I was so surprised to hear that the faith of Saros was a sham, my eyes nearly popped out of my skull. But just because the church lied to us doesn't mean that the goddess isn't real. That's my take on it anyway. I'd feel very anxious with no one to pray to.
Professor!
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation. The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate to us. However, due to interference from Houses Regan and Goneril, we have yet to secure their cooperation. Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy. But because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory. I have a request for you.
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion, but you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you. And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact. Make sure you're ready to head out, okay?
Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive? I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps. Yes?
You finally joined us, have you? I attached myself to the Imperial Army as well. Seemed the thing to do. I feel I owe it to Edelgard to set my past feelings about the Empire aside. I am happy to help her. It's strange, isn't it? After 5 years, the 3 professors are together once more. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power. The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them. But it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths hidden between the lines.
My adoptive father sent me here so our family name would be known. He doesn't care which side wins, the Empire or the Alliance. However, even if he tells me to come home, I intend to stay. I want to see this new world Edelgard dreams of.
Oh, I love this meal. How did you know?
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste. Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
I'll fight with full force. I'm counting on you to lead us to victory, Professor. I am grateful. Did you call me? Oh, this is my favorite tea. Do you, have sugar? Lots, please. I am grateful. This is delicious. Well now. If I hadn't met you, I don't think I'd be who I am today. Is that what you think? Some sweets. Some sweets. Any... Well now. Huh? Well now. My hair color is pretty unique, huh? This is delicious. Tea is nice and all, but it's not much good when you don't have sweets to go with it. For me? I love it! Thank you. Thank you. Ah, that tea was delicious. Invite me again sometime. See ya!
Yes, Judith, who defends the great... We can't afford to do. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. How relaxing. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Oh no. Thank you for the treat. I had such a great time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No.
that look on your face? I'm a mercenary. I never was, but I might change my... Thank you. You called, so I came. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Very good. Oh? Very good. Yes. No. That was delicious. Thank you. I'll visit again when I'm free. Thanks. What's that? I'm a mercenary. I never was, but I might change.
Right.
No.
Cooking is easy once you understand the basics. Let's, not use that vegetable. Technically it's edible, but it's not highly favored. I see. Singing with others is a nice change of pace. Usually I do it when I'm alone.
Regardless of the quality, this is a good chance for us to prove our solidarity.
Maybe.
Right.
Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this. This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Although ultimately, I find myself betraying his wishes. Now that I've parted ways with my father, there is nothing to stop me from pursuing my dream. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble. Of course not. We cannot change what has already come to pass. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
My future is bright.
The newly crowned king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Dimitri, has declared fealty to the Church of Saros and is raising an army in preparation for all-out war with the Empire. As leader of the Alliance, Claude maintains a facade of neutrality amidst infighting between those who support and those who oppose the Empire. Meanwhile, the Black Eagle Strike Force plans to capture Alliance territory before Edelgard takes the war to the Kingdom and the Church of Saros. With sights set on capturing Deirdre at the center of House Regan's territory, she leads a march across the Great Bridge of Myrddin to establish a bridgehead.
Thank you.
We're about to commence our attack on the Great Bridge of Myrddin. But first, allow me a moment of your time. It is something that I can only ask of you. Listen well. It concerns Lady Edelgard's uncle, the regent of the Empire, Lord Arundel. Although he is currently cooperating with Her Majesty, he maintains his own sizable military troops. It seems to me that his plans differ from our own. I assume you recall a certain group's scheming from 5 years ago? Solon and Kranya. They both served Lord Arundel. Professor, I understand how you must be feeling, considering what they did to your father. I know it must be foul to even consider cooperating with their kind. However, their power is essential for us at present. Edelgard also strongly opposed the idea at first. Our enemy is the Church of Saros itself. It cannot be toppled with the Empire's might alone. Those working under Lord Arundel are extremely hostile toward the Church. And the enemy of our enemy is... well, I think you sufficiently understand by now. Until all of Fodlan is united, it is a necessary evil. As for how we deal with him afterward, time will tell. Regardless, Her Majesty and I wish to join our power with yours. You should know that in her heart, Her Majesty regards that group as enemies of herself and her family. They used her father, the former emperor, as a puppet, and murdered her siblings with their vile experimentation. I believe Her Majesty may have told you some of this herself. That is why this was a very painful decision for her to make. I will do all I can to ensure her suffering is not in vain. And I hope I can count on you to do the same. As for all I have told you, please keep it in mind as we march forward. More importantly, I implore you to fight as best you can for Edelgard. From the bottom of my heart, I beg this of you.
We'll be capturing the Great Bridge of Murden, a key strategic location of the Leicester Alliance. Claude will surely be sending reinforcements, so we must prevail before they arrive.
Our opponent is Judith, the so-called hero of Daphnel. We can handle her, so long as we don't get careless.
The boy said to run if I was in danger, but I could never do that. I'll hold out until reinforcements arrive.
Ready for anything.
Put me in there. You're all going down.
What's my strategy?
I know you won.
I'm awake. I think I'm improving.
For the Empire! For the fate of Fodlan!
I do this for all of us.
Bernie's just no good.
More fighting. I will prevail.
Let's clean up.
I'll do my best.
I'll cut a bloody path.
You're weak!
Not so fast!
The only possible outcome. My ambitions are within reach. You're weak! Your death is not in vain. For the Empire! You can't stop me! Let's keep up the pace!
Ready for anything. If I live, I fight.
I'll cut a bloody path. A waste of time. What's my strategy?
There's
There's no turning back now.
I aspire to be my best.
I'm awake.
You were ready.
I do this for all of us.
Put me in there. You're all going down.
I will prevail.
Let's clean up. More fighting.
I'll do my best.
Well done. Is that all? Yeah! You're weak!
Not for myself, for everyone.
Judith! I'm so glad you're safe. Claude sent me here with reinforcements.
Why do I have to put up with orders from that false leader?
Because you're from the smallest noble house in all the Alliance, you whiner.
Enemy reinforcements. We didn't finish in time. Don't let them secure the ballista. More fighting. Let's clean up.
I will prevail. I'll do my best.
I'm grateful. I'll cut a bloody path.
Put me in there.
I'm awake.
I do this for all of us.
You're all Captain Gerald's enemies, and I will avenge him here.
No use!
I'm awake.
For the Empire!
my strategy.
It looks like I'm done for. Claude, I'm sorry.
Judith! No! Alliance soldiers! Judith has fallen. Further conflict is futile. If you surrender, your lives will be spared. Lay down your weapons immediately. Thank you. You have all fought well. With this victory, we now have a foothold in the Alliance. The Imperial Army will cross the Aramid River and push the front lines forward. The fight will continue, but do not allow that to stop you from taking pride in our hard-won victory.
Ah, this should put a stop to one of Edelgard's choice phrases. Well done, Professor. I believe it was, "If only the Professor were here, we could forge ahead and change the tides of this war."
Ferdinand, it is not necessary to tell the Professor such things.
We're not the only ones benefiting. The whole Imperial Army is stronger now.
Yes, it seems the Empire finally has both of its legs to stand on. Don't you agree?
You make it sound as though I can't run the Empire on my own. Perhaps it's more apt to say that the Pegasus has recovered its home.
Judith of Daphne. What a magnificent warrior. I'm happy to have the Professor back just like old times, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this cruel exchange of lives.
When there is something you must not be conceding, you must keep fighting. The fighting has been continuing for 5 years, but now I am again witnessing the Professor's power.
I hate fighting, but with the Professor here, maybe it's slightly less terrible? Oh, but everyone is working so hard! Stop it, Bernie. You can't be the only one complaining.
I'm glad to see everyone so inspired. It seems the reappearance of the Professor has done much to raise your morale.
Do you not feel the same, Hubert? Come now, be honest with yourself. Now, we must take advantage of the situation and blaze ahead. Our path is still a long one.